Good morning, students. In yesterday's session, we had learned about like what is meant by Git and how to create the repository, how to keep your code onto that repository, how you can able to invite the collaborators and even the collaborator, how they can able to clone it in their local environment and what changes they can able to make it and save it on a Git. So this is what in yesterday's session we had seen. So let me revise it once again and then I will proceed further for the today's session. So once again, let me repeat it. What is meant by Git is nothing but which is a version control system, mainly which is used to help help whatever the code you are making changes. It will be keep track of those things. And another important thing is it is used to collaborate on code. So these are the three important things about the Git. Git is nothing but a version control system in order to keep track of what code changes has been done, who had done it, what about the history details, which are the people at what date and what modification they have did. Everything you could able to keep track in the Git. And mainly it is used to collaborate on code. Okay. So in order to proceed with the Git, the initial step is you need to have a GitHub account. You need to have a GitHub account. So in Google, if you're going and checking out like create GitHub account, if you have a Gmail, then it is very easy to proceed further. Simply you just go over here and click on this location and you could able to create the GitHub account. Already I have logged in, so it directly moved on to my login page itself. So just click on it and you can able to sign in, register the GitHub account along with your email ID and all set will be done. So once it is done, then you will be getting such a kind of page. So here, like you need to know about some of the keywords. What are those keywords is nothing but what is meant by repository. Okay. Then what is meant by staging, committing, branch, merge, push and pull. So these points, these keywords you need to understand very well in order to proceed further. Repository is nothing but a folder. Consider that here I'm having like under the RESLU, I'm having hyperautomation. So hyperautomation is one of the repository. So within that, I will be having all sort of folders. Whatever it is needed, all those things will be having with me. Okay. Like the similar way, like if you're proceeding further for different, like you may be having a your own repository as well as prayer in a company, many people will be having a code. So their repository, if they are sharing it with you, then you will be becoming as a collaborator over there. So likewise, you will be having all sort of projects at this place. In this case, like if you wanted to create your own repository, then what you're supposed to do is here I have already created the repository non-Mudal register form also. In yesterday's class, I have yes.
Yeah, ma'am. You didn't share
Yes,
your
ma'am.
screen.
Oh my God. Till now, I didn't share my screen. Okay, sorry. Hope right now my screen is visible. See, in Google, if you're just typing create GitHub account, then just click on this join GitHub account, you could able to get to this screen. Okay. So in this screen, like here at the left column, you will be having a repositories. Repository is nothing but a folder which is used to manage the, you could able to manage the projects with the repositories only. Okay, so right now what I said, like inside each and every repository, you will be having a n number of folders, which is needed for your project. Like the similar way, we have created yesterday a repository known as demo git. So within the demo git also, we are having a folders. Inside that, we are having SRC. Inside that SRC, you could able to see yesterday, before leaving the class, Abhirami ma'am had modified the code and committed, and which has been reflected in the Git also. So the same Git only I'm also using because it is shared among between us. So within that, you could able to see that app.component.html, ma'am had added a button over here. So right now in my code, let me open non-model one exercise, non-model one demo git, right? We need to open. Which is under demo lecture git. So right now it is available over here. Let it get run. So first of all, let me repeat the part which partially I have said about the yesterday's class. So repository is nothing but which is used to manage the projects with the repositories. And second thing, if you want to get the GitHub code to your local machine, what you're supposed to do is you need to clone a project to work on a local copy. So in order to clone a project to work on a local copy, what you need to do is you need to go to the code, and here you need to click on this place, and you will be having local as well as code space also. Here you are having two tabs. One is for local, where you can able to copy the code and keep it on your local machine. Code space is nothing but on the internet itself, you could be able to write down the code with the help of a GitHub. That also I will explain you what is the usage of it. So inside this local tab, here you could able to copy it, and you could be able to make it over here by clicking on this, and here you could able to click on the clone repository, and you could able to paste it over here. Once it is pasted, and at which location you wanted to have the entire code, that you need to mention it, and you can able to clone it. Once you have cloned it out, then you will be getting the repository inside your local copy itself. Inside your local copy itself, you will be getting it. Okay, so mainly Git is used to control as well as track changes with the help of staging and committing. With the help of staging and committing. In yesterday's class itself, while pushing the code, ma'am had explained the thing about what is meant by stash, what is meant by staging, and what is meant by committing also. Stash is nothing but, save stash is nothing but taking the backup of your code, local machine code. You are taking a backup of it. You are just get ready for committing. That is the part about staging. Once it is being staged, by giving a message, you could able to commit it. Once committed, then you could able to push it out. Then you can able to push it out. So while pushing, where you wanted to push it, whether you wanted to push it in a master or in a, like these are considered to be branch, in a master branch or in a development branch or in testing branch, in which branch you wanted to push it, that also you could able to choose it. So once that is done, the next part is from in Git, what happened, the code has been updated. Now in the from my side, I need to pull the code from the Git. So for that purpose only, I have opened this code, opened this GitHub desktop, In this GitHub desktop, you could able to see that current repository, current branch, then pull origin. So current repository is nothing but I may be having more than one repository. So among those things, you could able to see the arrow mark over here. So whichever the arrow marks are over there, those repositories are having some sort of modification by the collaborators. So if you wanted to get the current recent code, you need to pull that code to your local machine. Then only you will be getting the current changes. So right now I'm taking a demo Git. I'm also having a modification over here. Now in this case, if I'm going to click on this pull, so it is fetching the input from my GitHub repository. When I'm going to do it, what happened? I'm getting an error message. What sort of error message? Unable to pull when changes are present on your branch. Meaning of that is in app.component.html, I'm having a modification done. Line in the same line, I'm having some sort of modification. Same line, not only same line, in the same file, I'm having the modification. Then ma'am also had made a modification in the same location. So in that case, you need to stash your changes now and recover them afterwards. So stash is nothing but taking a backup of your own code in your local machine. So with the help of GitHub desktop, you could able to take a backup of the code which you have written in your GitHub. So those things will be coming under the stashed changes. So inside the stashed changes, you are having the backup code of your own. Now you could able to view the stash also. Now in this view stash, you could able to see this. This is the line which you have modified. So you need to restore it. You need to restore it. Once it is restored, you could able to see over here, the conflict is over here. So we need to resolve this conflict. How you could able to resolve this conflict? By right click here and click on the open in Visual Studio Code. So inside the open in Visual Studio Code, you could able to see over here updated upstream and the stashed changes. You are having two things. Meaning of that is current change and incoming change. Current change is nothing but what we have done, we have pulled it out. So pulled means what? Abhirami ma'am code is right now in my local machine. Then what I'm doing, I'm restoring the stashes. Stash is nothing but what? Backup of my own code that I'm trying to do it. So that is coming as incoming changes. So which I wanted to accept it. If I want accept the current change means only Abhirami ma'am code will be present. Accept incoming change means only my code will be available. Accept both changes means I could able to have both the changes also. Compare changes in case if you have n number of lines. So in that case, you wanted to check it out line by line. For that purpose, you could able to do it compare changes. This is what like considered to be resolve in merge editor. Resolve in merge editor means you could able to get a merge like comparison. For that purpose, you will be getting it over here. Stashed changes is nothing but your own code. Current is nothing but Abhirami ma'am code, which I have pulled it right now. So among these two things, I need to consider which should be taken out. So accept combination, if I'm doing it, I will be getting both the codes. So accept combination means I will be getting both the codes. Then look at here. You could able to see stashed changes plus current. In that case, in the stashed changes, I'm having a modification done line also, then button also I'm getting it. So complete merge. If I'm clicking that complete merge, so complete merge means that conflict has been resolved. Now I can able to save it out. Save it, done. So now you could able to see in a local host. Demo git lecture, whichever the code I have tried to do it, modification done and submit button which ma'am had written a code. Those things also has been reflected over here. So this is how you need to resolve your conflict. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Students? Akash? Gayatri? Jenny? Jayashree? interaction is required. Without the interaction, I can't able to understand are you guys are following me or not. Whether you guys got my point, how we can able to resolve the conflict. You're expecting me to repeat it once again? Deepa Jyoti? Like if you want a clear clarification, then send your mail ID and we can able to do it. Akash, yesterday you have sent a mail ID to me, right? So I have invited you to for both the demo git 1 and demo git 2 also. So use the repository which is having a source code, and if you have executed, just do modification and push it out. Akash, are you there? Abhirami ma'am, hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Deepa Jyoti, Jivita, guys, respond. Yes, Akash. Are you having the code with you? If you are facing any sort of problem, please ask me.
Akash, I have disabled, enabled your mic to talk. You can open your mic and talk.
Mail received, ma'am.
Mail received, na? Then what you need to do, you need to accept the invitation. Have you accepted the invitation?
My collab account password.
Collab, VS Code is there with you. Akash, do you have VS Code with you? Akash, I'm not able to hear you properly.
அந்த அக்கௌண்ட் இன்வெர்ட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது.
என்ன எக்ஸிட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது?
my collab account password
இல்லப்பா, நீ கொலாபுக்குள்ள போவேனா? சரி விடு. இங்க பாரு, நான் உனக்கு ஒண்ணு சொல்றேன். அட்லீஸ்ட் அது மாதிரியாவது பண்ணு. நான் உனக்கு வந்து என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கேன்னா, டெமோ கிட் கொடுத்திருக்கேன் இல்லையா? இப்ப அந்த டெமோ கிட்டுக்குள்ளார நீ போனேன்னா உனக்கு இது மாதிரி உனக்கு ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா? இப்படி ஒரு ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா?
ஸ்கிரீன் வரல மேம்.
தெரியுதாப்பா இந்த ஸ்கிரீன்?
வரல மேம் ஸ்கிரீன்.
வரலங்கறியா வந்துருச்சுங்கறியா?
இல்ல வரல.
வரலையா? ஏன் வரல உனக்கு?
ஆகாஷ் நம்ம அக்கவுண்டே ஓபன் ஆகல அப்படின்னு சொல்றான்.
ஆமா, என் அக்கவுண்டே ஓபன் ஆகல.
GitHub அக்கவுண்டே ஓபன் ஆகலையா?
எஸ், GitHub அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் ஆகலையா?
என்னோட GitHub அக்கவுண்ட்ல ஒரு பாஸ்வேர்ட் தெரியலங்க.
பாஸ்வேர்ட் தெரியலனா நீ ரீசெட் பண்ணலாமே. ஜிமெயில் உன்கிட்ட தானே இருக்கு.
அதான் மேம், ரீசெட் பண்ணா மறுபடியும் பாஸ்வேர்ட் வரல மேம். ரீசெட் பண்ணதுல ரீசெட் யுவர் GitHub பாஸ்வேர்ட்
சரி பரவாயில்ல. இப்போ ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட் வந்து கிரியேட் பண்றியா? இப்போ ஒரு அக்கவுண்ட கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த மெயில் ஐடியை சொல்லு, நான் உனக்கு திரும்ப ஒருக்க இன்விடேஷன் கொடுக்குறேன். யாராவது ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்டாவது கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி வந்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க பண்றத பார்க்கும்போது அவங்க மித்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கும் அது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். வாலண்டியர்ஸ் யாராவது இருந்தீங்கன்னா உங்களோட மெயில் ஐடியை கொடுங்க. உங்க முன்னாடி அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டும் சேர்ந்து பண்ணும்போது ஒரு கிளாரிட்டி மித்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு கிடைக்கும். எனக்கு சரியா கேட்கலப்பா நீ என்ன பேசுறேன்னு.
பாக்குறேன் மேம். நியூ அக்கவுண்ட் ஓபன் பண்றேன்.
சரி, ஓகே. Is anyone else is there to give your mail ID? ஹெசிடேட் பண்ணாதீங்க. இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ் மார்க் இன்டர்வியூக்கும் ரிலேட்டட் ஆனதுதான். இன்கேஸ் கம்பெனில வந்து உங்களோட டீம் மெம்பரோட ஒர்க் பண்ணி காட்டு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஏதாவது சொன்னாங்கன்னா கூட உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கட்ஸ் வேணும் இல்லையா? சோ அந்த மாதிரி கூட நினைச்சிட்டு கூட ட்ரையல் மாதிரி வாங்கல. Deepa? Deepa Jyoti, just raise your hand. உங்களோட இன்வால்மெண்ட் இல்லாம எந்த விஷயத்தையும் கத்துக்க முடியாது. Let me give you another sort of example with respect to how to resolve the conflict. Right now, I have shown the example with respect to conflict resolution with respect to the GitHub account. Right now, so what you need to do it is, let me repeat it once again. So whenever you are having a conflict, you could able to click on the resolve and merge editor, and once you are clicking it, you will be getting a 2 screens, and among those 2 screens you could able to see whether accept current change or accept incoming change or combination likewise. So I have chosen the combination because I needed both those things. So this is how you need to resolve your conflicts. The same way, right now I'm going to add some more things over here. Okay, so that should be reflected in Abhiman's PC. Okay, in code. So may I write a button? Let me write another one button. Here, let me make it as cancel. Okay. So Abhirami ma'am, please you just do modification in your PC and keep it.
Yes.
When I'm going to, yes.
Yes. One student has given his mail ID.
ID? Okay,
Yes.
that's good to know. Balasubramanian. Okay, right now I will invite you. Collaborator Balasubramanian. Already Abhirami ma'am is there, Akash is there. Now I'm going to give it for Balasubramaniam also. Okay, add people. Balasubramaniam. Yes. To this repository. So now I have added Balasubramanian also into it. So now 3 people are there. See, Akash is still, it is pending invite only. So that's why he couldn't able to see anything else. So Abhirami ma'am had accepted it. Balasubramaniam, I'm expecting you to accept it. So once it is accepted, then I will help you. If you want, you can able to share your screen also, and I will help you what you supposed to do it. Balasubramanian. You there, Balasubramanian? If you want, you can able to share your screen also. Balasubramanian. Sarvini Devi. Yes. Let me check whether he had accepted the invitation. Yet not. Okay, time being, let Abhirami ma'am, you just proceed further. I will push it out, whatever the changes I have made it right now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. I'm sharing my screen now.
Let me push it out first, ma'am. Please.
Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute. I think I'm having some issues with my smart git. Just a minute. I'm just looking at it.
Okay, okay. I'm just committed right now. Okay, now I have pushed it. Right now, I don't have any changes over here. In history, you could able to see what are the changes has been made regarding the project. So initial commit, then HTML page has been changed, then Abhirami ma'am had added the button, and right now I have updated it. Okay, so all changes has been reflected in the GitHub. The same right now, ma'am will be showing you the remaining part. Let me check whether Balasubramanian has accepted. Not yet. Awaiting response. I think ma'am is. Is anyone else is there? Balasubramanian is yet not accepted the invitation. I need any one person to show the demo of it. Yeah. So let me wait for 5 minutes, then we can proceed. Made it, ma'am will be resolving the conflict, and ma'am will be revert back the code to the Git that you could able to check it out over here. Hope ma'am will be updating the content, and once it is done, you will be getting a modification over here. Like instead of Priyambika Rajamanikam, you will be getting Abhirami ma'am, what more message she had done. Everything you could able to see it over here. Now, the same thing, like consider that if you are going to be, what I can say, at a different location, but you wanted to do some few changes, but you don't have your laptop with you. So in that case, there is a benefit of using a code space in a GitHub itself. Only the source code should be there. So if the source code is there, then you could able to use it in a internet itself directly. So and only you need a account. So what you need to do with respect to that is, see, simply you can able to go to this location wherever the source code is there. Consider that I'm going to use the register form source code. So inside that you are having two things, local as well as the code spaces. So in local, you could able to see cloning. So this cloning, as I said priorly, in your local machine, if you want, you could able to use it here. Now consider that if you wanted to use it in a code space is nothing but where you could able to write your code also, as well as you could able to execute your code also over there, and you could able to commit it at the place. Instead of having a VS code in the local machine, you could able to have it in your GitHub itself. There itself, you could able to have it. That is the benefit of code space. So here you could able to see that non-Mudalvan register form. So this inside this register form, like why I have chosen this is like where we are having a server as well as the client also. So just for showing the output purpose, I have taken the same code. So here you could able to see the entire code is being present. You could able to have the terminal window also over here. All those things will be available here. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out. Here itself, I could able to do NGServe. As similar to the same way how we are doing it in the, how we used to do it. Sorry, I think correct na? NGServe. it is coming under over here. Okay, fine. Now this is not needed. Directly server, I can able to do it. Now npm. I have used the webpack, so I'm using devwp. Here npm then start. So here you could able to see that your application running on port 6644 is available. So here at this location, you could able to get your output. So here itself, you will be getting an output. So both the way you could able to do it. See, info node.js, express and Postgres. When it is going to be slash, I need to get such a kind of output only. So that I am getting it over here. See, in Visual Studio Code, whatever we were having, the same output you could able to get it at this place also. In this terminal, it is as similar to the local host, in your local machine, how the output is being there, the same way it is going to be there. Okay, so both the way you could able to use it. So code space, most probably don't utilize it all time. Try to go ahead with the local only, because internet is not needed when you are going with the laptop for coding purpose. Once it is done, only for pushing and pulling, you require the internet. Otherwise, not required at all. So you could able to create a module and all those things you could able to do it over here. Not only for the Visual Studio Code, you could able to do it for the Python also. Whatever the languages are there, everything you could able to do it with the help of a code space itself. So this is what about the code space. Let us see whether ma'am had committed the code. Ma'am, have you committed the code?
2 minutes, ma'am. I'm facing one issue.
Okay. Let me check whether anyone else. So demo kit. Collaborate group, whether Balasubramaniam has accepted or not. Pending invite, yet it is in pending. Balasubramanian, have you received the mail? Balasubramanian, have you received the mail? Okay, so
I
ma'am
have
had done
completed,
with.
yeah, I have completed. I have pulled your code. I did some changes in my code, and I
Okay,
pulled
ma'am.
your code, and I have resolved the conflict, and I pushed it.
Okay, ma'am. So now let us see, added the form over here. So ma'am had added the form over here. So let us see whether that has been reflected in our GitHub. So in your GitHub, you would able to see like changes. Let us fetch the origin over here. Hope my screen is visible. Fetching the origin. While I'm fetching the origin, I need to get one pull. See, ma'am had pulled 2 times. Ma'am had pulled 2 times, pull 2 commits from the origin remote. So I'm going to click on that pull origin. Here, I don't have any changes at all. So, my God, I made a mistake. Otherwise, I would have shown you the conflict. Again. Fine. So here, ma'am had 4 minutes ago analytics. Ma'am had added analytics over here. And here, login. Just form alone, ma'am had added over here. Okay, some of the file ma'am had added explicitly. Let's see what is going to happen over here. So here in app.component.html, I'm having an error message. So what sort of error message? It is unexpected closing tag. Form, ma'am is using form. Unexpected closing tag. Why it is? Ma'am had pulled the code. In case if there is an error with that code, then the same thing will be reflected over here also. Don't have any sort of conflict at all. and I got a code over here, failed to compile. So what sort of error I'm having? Unexpected closing tag form. It may happen when the tag has already been closed. So let me check it out whether ma'am had kept it to form over here. Div is closed over here, and then password input type div tag is closed over here. Then form and form is right only. Let me check it out. Is it related to material? I have not added the material at all, right? So simply ma'am had added the form, but form control name and anything else, nothing ma'am had added over here. If I'm using form, then I need to add it in a app module.ps file also. Right. So let me keep this. This is the content ma'am had kept. Okay, so some other div tag is missing. Div tag is closed over here. And this is the div tag for this. This is for another div tag. And this is for another div tag. So this div tag, I don't have closing tag at all. So now the error has been closed. So compiled successfully. Okay, so this is the thing ma'am had given. Login page, then demo git lecture. Once again, I'm getting it once again. So why I'm getting it twice? Demo git lecture, modification done, submit, cancel. Then which are the things I'm having? Let me check it out in my HTML page. So here, demo git lecture, modification done, submit, cancel button. Then I'm getting login page. So in the login page, once again, I'm having a submit button. So this is the output I'm getting it over here. Submit button, login page submit button, and below that also I'm getting another one submit button. Let me check it out. Another one submit button where I'm getting. So one submit button. Here also I'm having demo git lecture submit button. So this is why I'm getting all the outputs over here. Okay, so here you could able to see what changes ma'am had modified over here. Everything it will be reflected at this HTML page. This is how you need to resolve your conflict. Entire code will be over here. Okay, so better way, try to use the GitHub rather than the other platforms because those things are licensed to one. You need to have a license for it. So GitHub desktop is not a licensed one. It is an open source. You could able to use it directly. Even in here at this location itself, you could able to see like code is over there. When you're going to click on this code here in local, you could able to see open with GitHub desktop. So directly you could able to click on it and you can able to install it and you can able to proceed further itself. So this is what I plan to give it in today's session. Hope you guys have learned today regarding how to utilize the GitHub. I have GitHub account, so can I share that account? Account name for collab. See, GitHub account is there, right? Collab mostly we used to use it for the Python. I don't know like how to use it for the Java, what I can say, Angular.
I think he is asking for collaboration, I think, not
Okay,
mentioning the Google Collab.
collab nahi. Okay, ready, I'm ready, Prasant. We can able to have it in a practice session. So let us stop the recording and we can proceed further, Prashant. Just give your mail ID, we can proceed further.